the game, cause see the boxing voice.
Welcome back, gang, for the first time and hopefully many more to come. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and click on the notifications right here, this little bell, so you can get those emails every time we go live. What is going to happen with Triple G and Canelo? The boxing world is definitely tore down the middle on this one. All of our reporters have been out on the field interviewing multiple people in boxing, whether that be trainers, managers, fighters, etc., getting their response and immediate reaction to the Canelo contaminated meat gate. And I'll tell you, some people are coming straight out saying he cheated.
Mm-hmm.
It's the highest level. Most people cheat at that level. Those that don't haven't been caught yet. Everyone is kind of okaying this situation. With Luis Ortiz, it wasn't okay. With Povetkin, it wasn't okay. Was it a different drug, Matt? Why is Canelo being treated like, oh, you know, it's okay?
In terms of the different drugs, for Povetkin, I forget what the first thing he popped for, or the second thing. So I forget what the second thing he popped for. The first thing he popped for was melatonin. That to me has, and to a lot of doctors out there, has no PD, performance enhancement qualities at all. So that one's very questionable in my opinion. The second one, though, he did pop for actual steroids. That is, technically worse than a steroid-like substance in clenbuterol, which is a beta agonist, I believe, or agonist. Clenbuterol, to me, and the reason why it's not being perceived as an issue is that the industry has written off a couple areas for this issue. One being Mexico, two being China. Those two locations across the Olympics, across other sports, have sort of given a almost blanket TUE, therapeutic use exemption, when it comes to this stuff, because there is such a rampant use. There's only one province or state in Mexico that can guarantee clenbuterol-free meat. There's only one. Canelo does not live in that state. So, I mean, there are reasons as to why people are saying that we should overlook it. I understand the reasons that we shouldn't, because we did care about it with Povetkin. We did care about it more with Luis Ortiz. Obviously there's a huge section of fans that care about it a lot with Canelo right now, but there's also a huge section that says don't care.
I mean, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I don't understand, how do you overlook it if he tested positive for clenbuterol and he's fighting?
Because WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency, said this threshold, if you pop below this threshold in these locations, it's most likely due to contaminated meat. Then VADA, and USADA copy WADA's lead on that.
So let me ask you something. Should we not be acting like this is a giant conspiracy, and should we treat it more like the way an officer of the law treats a common DUI stoppage?
You know what this
person is allowed to have a few drinks as long as they don't go past a certain blood alcohol level. Is this a similar situation? Like, it's okay, depending on the percentage of contamination?
Look, I have a personal opinion on that, and that is, I really don't give a fuck about PED use in a wide scope, because I think a majority of high-level athletes use it because they have.
I disagree with you.
Use that.
There's testing, bro. There's testing,
and there's tons of ways to get around it. Ask anyone in the industry. I know you're sort of out of the industry, in the music industry, but in the sports industry, everyone knows that a huge percentage of high-level athletes use PEDs, even in the NFL, even in the NBA, especially the NBA, because they have super lax PED regulations. Okay, so let me digress there.
And also digress. Shout out.
I'm just being honest.
Let me finish.
No. You hold on. How can I get my hands on some clenbuterol? Because at the end of the day, it helps with cardio. It helps you lose fat and gain muscle.
Exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. Shout out to RR1000. I did hear a doctor say the amount of clenbuterol that Canelo was tested positive with is going to help him greatly on that fight. Fight night. So it's obvious. They asked him. is it cheating?
You have to understand that's one doctor's opinion. Like anything.
No. A dose is a dose.
No.
There's no opinion on the dose.
Okay, actually, let me finish because you again are not
data on dosage. If
Enrique,
you really want to gain,
Enrique, have you read a single article on PED regulation?
No, but I heard doctors reviewing it, and I know a dose.
Let me please educate
on using a dose.
Please educate you.
You can read Tylenol bottle and know what.
Okay, Enrique, we can't talk over each other.
I know you didn't let me finish. That's why I was doing that.
But you're not going to say anything that's relevant to this case. Let me actually.
So that's a bit disrespectful, Matt, because you don't value his opinion. He should shut up and let you talk, and then you're going to say he's not letting you talk because you want him to shut up while he was talking.
What are you going to say, Enrique?
Strange.
What are you going to say?
I just told you the amount, the dosage that they find. A dosage has data behind it and what effect it does to you.
Do you know that? Do you know
the
this?
Doctor explained the data, and you're saying it's an opinion. It's not an opinion.
You know, there's multiple studies about clenbuterol and different PEDs that showed a varied range of opinions. You do realize that, right? That there's plenty of doctors out there that do testify and have studies, data that counter that doctor's opinion. That's the problem with PED regulation, is what I'm saying. That there's a wide range of opinions right now, and that's why we can have a money maker like Canelo abuse the system and get away with it, just like any other high-level celebrity. And when they go to court, it's a different rule set.
It's like you, Matt. You use PEDs for border wars. Fern Gully just ratted you out. He said,
I definitely wish I did. I definitely use. Well, marijuana is technically a PED, so I mean, technically,
is it? It helps your cardio.
No, marijuana is not a PED. Marijuana is a banned substance on the.
You have to understand that a banned substance and PED are synonyms.
No,
you have to understand.
PED is an acronym, weirdo.
Performance enhancement.
We're gonna move on because Matt's always right. We don't got time to hear him make an excuse.
Yes, I mean you can read the WADA ban list and read the regulations and understand this yourself. I know I have. Have you? Have any of you guys read it?
Tennis.
No.
Please educate yourself.
Here he goes.
Look, again, you guys are on a podcast. Please read these regulations. They're public information.
Here I go again on my own.
So how would you feel if they said Triple G had levels of
I would not care.
People would be saying, yo, Canelo better not fight Triple G. He cheated. You know how it is. But Canelo represents the money in this fight. And that's the end of this conversation, really.
And real full closure of this conversation, if Canelo now knocks out Triple G, we're gonna be like, yo, that was the clenbuterol, man. That wasn't his real power.
Somebody said weed is a PED in a taco eating contest.
Yo, but honestly, on an honest level, there needs to be massive PED regulation reform on an entire sport like wide basis, not just boxing. All of sports, there needs to be PED regulation reform. That's just the issue. There's tons of drugs that should not be on the list, like marijuana. You can get banned. There was a UFC fighter that just got 9 months suspension for weed.
Well, because we know that they use marijuana as a masking agent. So they take something else, then they smoke.
Stop. Come on, man. Stop.
What? No, that's the truth.
That's not the truth. There's no study to prove that. Can you point to one study?
Plenty of people, plenty of trainers.
No. Can you point to data? Can you? Because like Enrique said, there's data for dosage, right?
Well, first of all, hold on, fast guy. There isn't much data on marijuana usage in this generation. Remember, all the data that was allowed was from the Reagan era.
So what data do you have?
Your data agenda, okay?
Yes.
But what we can go by is years and years of trainers who actually.
Trainers also say you can't have sex before a fight. Come on, stop.
I haven't cut you off. Like, I'm gonna
cut you off. It's okay. Trainers also say you can't have sex before a fight. There's no physiological evidence to prove it. None. Trainers say a whole load of shit that's not true. A trainer's an expert on a drug and what it does to a body physiologically from a scientific.
Next, Matt's gonna get a mirror. I'm telling you. He already got the headphones hearing himself talk. He needs to just watch himself now.
My voice does sound amazing.
He's watching himself.
He don't need us here. I'm telling you, bro.
He gonna talk to himself. You right, Matt? I'm right. You know it.
I definitely say that in the mirror. Don't worry about it.
All right, so here we go. Move on. Next subject, tennis.
That's why he always thought he won in those fights he took. Because he was talking to himself in the mirror.
You got this.
Again, you guys have yet to bring up any facts to counter any of my points, but we can move on.
No, and your fact is there's no studies.
You want me to pull up studies? I can pull up studies right now. We can go to the next subject. I pull up studies and we come back to it. You want to do that?
There's no studies.
I can definitely beat you in this argument.
Yes, yes. Pull up the studies.
Okay. What studies do you want? What do you want me to prove exactly?
The data.
What do you want me to prove exactly? About marijuana or something else?
Yes, the marijuana data.
While he pulls that up, let's speak about Jeff Horn, Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to get him busy so he won't talk while we can actually have a conversation. We gave you a task to do, Matt. Go do that. We're going to talk about Terrence Crawford's broken hand now. Or hurt hand, Enrique.
Not broken. Not broken. At least.
What is up, TBV family? Yes, YouTube has been cutting funding to their channels as of late, and with net neutrality going through its process, the internet is changing. If you want to keep your favorite channel intact, coming up with tons of content, and plus get hours and hours of extra content, head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice to become a member of the TBV family and help support the channel. Peace.
No other sight in the game could see the boxing voice.